Okay, so when you go into a library, what programs are you going to offer them? The first thing is just to sell books to them. That's the easiest and most simplest thing. The next thing that I always offer to them are book fairs. This is with schools, not necessarily with public libraries. So with book fairs, I'm sure you've all seen book fairs done by Scholastic or other companies at schools. The big things that set us apart, first of all, we're non-commercialized. We don't have any of the SpongeBob or the Door or anything like that that are connected to TV. And also, we do all the work. And that is a huge plus because book fairs are a lot of work. Depending on the school, sometimes it's the librarian in charge of the book fair, sometimes it's the PTA president. I always start with the librarian. If she's not the one in charge, she'll definitely know who the one in charge is. So with book fairs, you just take a whole bunch of books. Set all the books up. I like to set up chapter books according to level, the easier reading level up to the hardest. Some people do separate tables, a table of pirate books, a table of princess books, just however it works for you. But then you were there as much of the time as you can to be there to run the book fair. Occasionally I have an hour or so that I'm not able to be there and the librarian's happy to fill in, or we can get a PTA volunteer to help, or even another consultant in the area could help you with that. So that's book fairs. With a book fair, $200, I hope I have these numbers right, $200 to $499, the school gets 25% of the total sales and free books. So if they have a $400 book fair, they get $100 in free books. If it's $500 on up, they get 50%. All of mine have always been $500 on up because they know that that's what it is and they shoot for that. And unless it's a very small school, that's not really a hard thing anyway. So a $1,000 book fair would get the school $500 in free books. Their free books they get free shipping on. Also, most schools are tax exempt, so they don't have to pay tax on it. So that's book fair. It is more work on your end, mostly just time spent, but they are worth it. The next program would be Reach for the Stars. So Reach for the Stars is a pledge-based reading program. It rewards the kids for doing what they should be doing anyway. The goal of Reach for the Stars is to read 300 minutes over a 2-week time frame. In the little information packet that you can get from home office that you send home, it has a spot inside where the kids keep track of how many minutes they read each day, and then they total it up at the end. It has another spot for a wish list, and then on the back is where they can keep track of their pledges from sponsors that they get. So they do their reading, and then they go and ask friends, neighbors, family members if they would like to pledge them, to sponsor them for doing this reading program. Most people just do a flat amount, $5, $10, $20, whatever they want to do for the child to do the 300 minutes of reading. For younger children, they can be read to, and that counts. That's much easier to do a flat amount rather than, say, 5 cents a minute. I've had kids that read over 1,000 minutes, over 2,000 minutes during that time. So then with that, they turn everything in, and then the money that they get half of it to pick out free books. So if they got $50 in pledges, the student gets $25 that they get to use. They don't get the actual money. They get that amount in free books, and the school gets the other amount in free books. So I like to end my Reach for the Stars with a book fair. That's the easiest way. Then I just print all the kids a little voucher saying, you've earned $25 in free books from our book fair. Plus, parents will still buy more books at the book fair. So it's a win-win. You can do the Reach for the Stars that you just have them make a wish list, either through looking at a catalog or going online. Lots of people don't follow through with that, or I get Dr. Seuss books written down, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, just all sorts of random things. But that is a great way. If you want to do that, we can talk more about it, go into more details. It is kind of a lot of work on your end with the prep work and following up, but it's very profitable money-wise, but it's also great for the students, rewarding them for what they should be doing anyway, and it gets books into their homes, which for some of them, they just don't have. Okay, next program is Literacy for a Lifetime. This is a 50% grant matching program. So with any organization, this does not have to be schools and libraries. Any money that is not in their normal annual budget, they can use for Literacy for a Lifetime. Any grants they get, any donated money, with a minimum $200, we will match it by 50%. So $200 gets them $300 in books. $2,000 gets them $3,000 in book. There's no limit. They can use this as many times as they want. I have a middle school librarian that uses this every year with me. She gets a $200 grant and uses it with me to get $300 in books. Like I said, it doesn't have to be schools and libraries. This December, me and a few other consultants teamed up with an organization here in Utah called Christmas Box House International. It was started by the author Richard Paul Evans, if you guys are familiar with him. We got money donated through local businesses. Also, we set up a GoFundMe account and sent messages to our Facebook friends and family and emails. Kind of bugged people a little bit, really. But we got money donated, and then we used that for the Literacy for a Lifetime and got even more free books for the kids that the Christmas Box House serves for Christmas. So that was a great thing, and that's something we plan to do every year. You can go out on your own and solicit money for an organization and then use it for the Literacy for a Lifetime. So that is a wonderful program that we have available. The last program is Cards for a Cause, which is our fundraiser. This can be used with schools, with scout groups, dance teams, just about anything. My kids and I have done our own Cards for a Cause fundraiser, selling these, and then donated the money earned from it to the food pantry. We've done that twice now. But you get a box of 30 cards. There's 3 different boxes to pick from. These are very cute cards. Here's just a couple. You can see it's like 3D. But it's an assortment of cards. There's birthday cards, thank you cards, new baby cards. Just a really big assortment of cards. Each box sells for $30 for 30 cards. So $1 a card. And as you can see, they're so much cuter than dollar store cards. There's some pop-ups, 3D, all sorts of fun things. The organization, assuming it's tax exempt, they get 43% of the profits from that. The way commission works on this, the organization keeps $30, they keep $13, and then you get 17% of the other $17, if that makes sense. I know it's a little confusing. You have to have a minimum order of 15 boxes, though. That's the catch. They have to sell at least 15 boxes. But really, if they're motivated, it's not that hard to do. So those are the basic programs and things that we can offer to schools and libraries, and also to other organizations.